Welcome back. It's about 8 o'clock, and as promised, Everyday Wealth Systems is back broadcasting live via Facebook, and it worked a little smoother this time. Let me turn that volume down. So, how credit works is the topic for tonight, and I'll give you a little bit of information, or we'll talk a little bit about credit and why it's important, how it works. But real quickly, on my journey to eliminating debt and becoming free, one of the things that really kind of smacked me dead in my face, excuse me, was when I came to a realization of what this whole thing credit was. You know about it in theory, or I knew about it in theory, but I really didn't know much about it in terms of practical application. Folks have credit cards, and they had Black cards and American Express, and back then Diner card. These were like the cards to have. If you had one of those, particularly you go out on a date and you put down a Diner's card or American Express. Wow, that was something. Needless to say, I didn't have those. I was an entrepreneur, and so I operated pretty much on a cash basis. And as a result of that, I really hadn't built up any credit and credit is simply your credit file, your credit score. They're simply indicators of how much debt you have, as a result of that debt, how much you owe, and what your history is of paying on time. Excuse me. And as a result of that, they come up with a score. Now, score. So let me write that down real quick, just so that we remember to talk about that, right? So what is a credit score? Right? So, credit score, that's the number used between 350 and 850. Now, I've never seen anybody score down in below 500s. Mine's got as low as 512. And on this journey, I was able to get it up to 733 over a 10-month period of time. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Pardon me. But credit, particularly when you're talking about building wealth, right? And so credit is one of those things that you really need to have. It's like if you were, and a lot of people are scared of credit. I don't want credit. I don't want credit cards. I'll just pay cash. Great. Okay. But if you want to build wealth, in America, which is a capitalistic society, that's the model we operate on, credit is an essential part of it. So, part of what I want to help you do through our time together, through my coaching with you, is to help you, one, to kind of debunk some of the myths and that cause us fear and caution about credit. Because credit, if you were a chef, right, would you want, and your job was to slice and dice and prepare foods and cut through meat and vegetables and what have you, would you want a dull knife or a razor sharp knife? Right? You have a dull knife, the food's going to look clunky, it's going to be hard to cut, and it's going to take time, a lot of effort. Got a razor sharp knife, you're going to whiz through that with ease, right? So, a chef becomes skilled at using a knife. Now, for someone who doesn't know how to use a knife that's razor sharp, guess what can happen? Right? A couple fingers missing, right? So, then what happens in general, there's this understanding or realization or conclusion that people come to that razor sharp knives are bad. Well, not if you're a chef, right? So, as someone who's beginning to get into this mind of, I'm going to eliminate credit, I'm going to pull my money get my money and my spending into order and begin to manage it, and then I'm going to eliminate debt. And then once I eliminate debt, what am I going to do with all this free money, right? All this disposable income, as they call it. Well, we're going to use it to invest. We talked about on the last video that I redid, we talked about savings and investing, right? And so this is where you kind of, credit relates directly to investing because it allows you to leverage your good name and your good, which you acquire as a result of your payment history. It allows you to get a score that the banks use to rate you in terms of your credit worthiness, right? So we got to get past that, right? You're now becoming a student of money. And I'm going to take you as far as I can take you, and you'll see over time that really can be a pretty long way in terms of some basic understanding of how this money game works. And as I said yesterday, the reason why it's imperative that you get this is because everything you do, from the time you wake up in the morning and turn on the shower, money is pouring out of that faucet. To you, you see it as water. To me, I see it as rain. Or I'm sorry, dollars. It's costing me. So, like for instance, when my son was here and he'd take those 30-minute showers, Dad is like banging on the door. Dude, you're a student. Meaning we got to keep expenses low so we can get you prepared to go to college or whatever. Not spend all our money with the water company, right? So anyway, sorry, son. But anyway, every now and then, but 30 minutes every day, look, what is that? 7 days a week? That's a lot of water that's just wasted. And so the water's wasted, so is your money, going right down the drain, right? Figuratively and literally. Same thing with lights and gas and, wasting food and all of those things, right? So credit is one of those essential things necessary to build wealth, right? So so that's what credit is. How do you get it, right? So if you're just starting out, right, and you have a job. Now, a lot of you guys who went to college, you get on the college campus, you got bombarded by who? You got bombarded by credit card companies. Why? Because as a person, if I was a company who had a business that made money off of lending money, a good place to kind of set up camp would be where? At people's jobs or on college campuses. So credit companies struck these deals with these these universities, colleges and universities, where they could set up and offer credit to the students. Pardon me. I don't know. Somebody thought it was a great idea. Young, just leaving home, not really savvy with money, credit card. Might not be a great combination, right? So what happens is credit companies' mindset is, and whether you're just starting out or whatever, their mindset is that they want to get into your future wealth. They want to get into your future earnings. So just like we did the thing where we talked about how many years, I hope you guys did that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to offer as a free gift to the people who are active with me online and answer certain questions. I'm going to offer to you a template that already has that stuff spelled out. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. So stay tuned. Right? So what they do now is they offer you a credit card, right, with a interest rate attached to it. Now, you're not a savvy investor or money manager, so do you think the interest rate is high or low? It's high, right? Somebody put hashtag interest rate is high, right? So think about this. So let's just use, for example, if the credit card has a 25% APR, annual percentage rate, what that means is that for every $100 you borrow, you pay them back the $100 plus $25, right? For every $1,000 you borrow, you pay them back $1,000 plus $250. You see how it works? So how do you get credit? So one of the ways is to apply for a credit card online. You can do that online these days. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. And you get a credit card and you go and you start making purchases. You pay your bill on time, and they score you with a I-1, what is it, I-1 through I-9, right? Or R1 through R9, meaning revolving account, right? And so, you know, they calculate your score based on how many 30 days you're late. So when you're 30 days late, that's a 1. When you're 30 days late multiple times, that's a 2, 3, 4, 5, on up to 9, right? And so at that point, generally the company will charge it off and sell the debt or whatever. That's another whole conversation. So you get a card. So when I first started out, one of the first things I was told to do was go to apply for a card like a gas card or a department store, because they tend to be a little more lenient. I don't know if that's the case these days. It's been a long time since I've applied for a credit card, and so I don't quite know how that works. But what I will tell you, another way is to get what is called a secured credit card. Now, here's kind of the thing that a lot of folks, millennials, you guys have gotten into, because credit isn't really focused on that much. You go open a bank account and you get a debit card. It's not a credit card. A debit card does not report to the bureaus, and therefore there's no credit being established, no history is being established. A debit card, while it looks like a credit card, you swipe it, has a chip, all those features that resemble a credit card, it is not a credit card. And the biggest reason why you don't want to make that mistake of thinking that your debit card functions like a credit card is because of one very valuable and important component. A debit card does not report. A credit card reports. And we're going to talk about who that credit card reports to, that credit card company reports to, because that's important, right? So those are ways that you go to a furniture store. They tend to be a little lax. Their credit, policies are not as stringent. Banks tend to be the toughest place to get credit. So when you have credit from a bank, a commercial bank, it's generally you are very credit worthy. So there's one of the places that you want to, work your way up to being able to get a credit card from a bank, okay? Because they kind of carry a little bit more, they carry a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more clout in the marketplace as it relates to credit. When it comes to swiping the card, they're all the same. But when people who are looking at your credit worthiness, when you've got, a credit card from a bank versus, a department store, or it's a furniture store, or something like that, it's not the same. It doesn't carry the same weight. Now, real quick, I just thought of something that I want to share with you. Now, if by chance, and this is a great place to start if you're trying to start building credit. If by chance you choose the route of getting a secured credit card, here's something very important. When you get that secured credit card, and what a secured credit card is this, you apply to ABC credit card company. You fill out the application, they send you a card. That card has no value on it, but you have to deposit money in order for that to be attached to your card. Now, when you make that deposit and that money gets attached, you now can spend it. Pardon me. You will get a bill as if, just like a credit card. Here's one really important key to that. When you get that secured credit card, it is very, very important that you've saved at least $500. Everybody say hashtag $500. Say $500 to put on your secured credit card account. Now, why is that important? $500. $500 is important because if it's $4.99 or less, it will not report to the credit bureaus. So you've heard me talk about these bureaus a number of times, and so now what I'm going to do is share with you who these bureaus are, right? And so these bureaus, I almost want to write them in red because they're tough guys and not always fair, but that's a whole nother subject. So I'll write them in blue, okay? So who monitors credit? Well, there are 3 agencies. They are not federal agencies. They're independent agencies, private concerns that have positioned themselves in a very strategically powerful place because they get to pretty much dictate what your credit life looks like. And if you don't understand how to play by the rules with these guys, you can be in a world of hurt when it comes to trying to leverage money to get more money or leverage your name to get money. And so if anybody knows, I want you to put hashtag the 3 credit bureaus. Hashtag, if you know what the credit bureaus are, hashtag whatever they are. All right, just one. If you know all 3, great. Just do one. All right, and we'll check back in a second just to see where folks are with that. All right. So these guys, credit card companies, banks, furniture stores, department stores, gas cards, any form of credit, any form of you being given a credit or an advance, if you will, on a card to spend and pay back on a monthly basis. Those which constitutes a credit card, they report to these places. So let me see, did anybody put in hashtag, oh my gosh, somebody saying, what is the third one? Well, I don't know. I don't see what you put in for the first and the second one. But in a second, I'm going to reveal it. Hashtag, whatever it is. Come on, put it in now, right? Hashtag, one of them starts with an E, the other one starts with an E, and the other one starts with a T. So I helped you out, right? All right. So they report to them, and if you pay your bill, the minimum amount that's due, and you pay it before the due date, everything is great. So when they look at your credit report, it says paid as agreed, paid as agreed, right? So that means, hey, this person is good. They're cool. So it's real important, again, with the secure credit card, if you're trying to build credit, and that's the easiest way to get credit. To be honest with you, it's the easiest way to do it. Save up $500, apply for the card, deposit it. Now you've got a legitimate credit card that you're funding, right? So basically, when you pay it back, you're just paying yourself back on that card. But they are reporting because it's $500 or more. $500 or more is what you need. And then once you've done that for 7 months, then what you will do is now apply to a commercial bank or a credit card company. Now, 7 months is important because the reason why you want to do it for 7 is because for 6 months, they're going to look at a minimum of 6 months of clean credit history, right? So now they're looking at how well you pay your bills. The other thing they look at is what's the highest amount of credit that you have paid back, right? So there's length of credit, there is credit history in terms of repayment history, and then there is what they call, what is the term for it? They call it your credit worthiness, the highest amount of credit issued, right? So if you only have, let's say, 3 accounts and one and you have 500, and then you got that someone else gave you $1,000 and someone else gave you 2,000, it's called high credit. It just came to me, right? So what's going to happen is your credit worthiness is good payment history, high credit of 2,000. Now someone will take a chance on you, okay? They'll take a chance on you because you have a history of paying back on time, and the highest amount you pay back has been 2,000. So in some cases, they may extend you 500 over that 2,000, so now you're 2,500, right? Hopefully you got that, okay? So now, those 3 companies are, let's see what they are. Some folks got it out there. Somebody said TransUnion. Jermaine King, very good. Jeremiah King, very good. Elaine Scales, what did you say? Okay, I see. Oh my gosh. Jermaine gets it. He wins. No, don't. Well, okay. Maybe he did win. So what we'll do is, okay, I'll reveal them for you, right? So the 3 companies are, we have TransUnion, right? TransUnion, Experian, and because you'll think that's something bad. So the third one is, and a lot of you guys, my goodness, Equifax, EQ. Right? Now, here's the part that's crazy about this that I didn't know and I learned the hard way, right? Everybody, very rarely, there's really only one institution that wants to see all three of these. And so again, remember, there's a score. So the score goes from, let's put it over here. Score range is 350 to what? What did I say it was? That's right, 850, right? Now, the highest score that I've ever seen from any of my clients happened to be my sister. She had an 830 credit score. Well, my sister at the time was probably 62, and one thing she does is pay her bills, and she's bought cars and houses and all these kinds of high dollar things, not necessarily luxury, but she's had high credit over a long period of time with no blemishes. 830, right? I have another client that's 800. Now, when I tell you my stuff was in the tank, I was a 512, right? But I hooked up with this company, and this company helped me in 10 months eliminate 33 derogatives, right? 11 derogatives on each one of these, so that's 33. And my score went from a 512 to a 733 in 10 months, right? It was pretty awesome. So now, what did that allow me to do? Excuse me a second. That allowed me to buy money at 3.25%, and I accelerated my payoff because I now paid off the debt. I paid down the debt even more, right? So all the excess money that I was paying on debt more of it was going to the principal because less of the payment was interest, right? The credit card company is going to get there first. So say, for instance, you have a minimum payment on a $200 credit card. You have a minimum payment of $15. Well, about the way it calculates, about $9 of that is interest. So can you see how difficult it would be if you're paying $15? $9 is going towards the $6 going towards the principal, but $9 is for the interest. You never get out. You'll never get out of that loop, right? And so that's the reason why it's important to understand this credit thing. So I may be kind of getting ahead of myself, but I thought it was a juicy topic, and you guys might like it, and we may be able to make some headway and some understanding. Because I'm going to tie all this stuff together. See, it's one thing to know. Let's say you know, and I'm going to use this a guide thing, so forgive me, right? But let's say you know about, well, they don't have carburetors on cars anymore, right? Everything is fuel injected. So, okay, I'm a little old school. So let's say you have fuel injection, and then you have spark plugs, and then you have something so a distributor cap or the electrical wiring, and then you have valve covers because they're valves, and then you got a cam, and then you got a block. So let's say all those things are laid out, right? So great, you got all the parts. Now put it together. Pardon me, you see my point? So there's credit. There's credit. Hey, there's credit. There's debt. Hey, there's debt. There's interest rate. There's earnings. There's income. There's investments. There's savings. There's luck. All these things. You got a 401k, or you got an IRA, or you got a TSP if you work in the government. If you're a teacher, you got a 402b. You got all these things. But if you don't know how to make them work together, folks, you just got them. They're not benefiting you one bit. That's what we do at Everyday Wealth System. Take everyday, ordinary stuff that you're going to be dealing with on a daily basis. We're going to break it down and show you how to integrate it so that now they're working together. There's something called synergy, right? They're cooperatively working. So they're working together for your benefit, right? So the three are now, everybody, right? Hopefully you wrote these down because I'm going to ask you about this later, right? So TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, right? So let me see. Jeremiah, you get a free gift. Elaine, why didn't you put anything in? I just see, oh my gosh, Like, you should have put something in. Oh my goodness, Jeremiah put in 2 things. Okay, great. The third one was Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Okay, so you got this. Score 350 to 850. So here's what I want you to do. I want each and every one of you, and I want you to hashtag annualcredit.com. Hashtag that right now, please, in the comment section. Annualcredit.com. When you do that, I'm going to send you a gift. Make sure I get your email address. Inbox me. Don't put it out there like that. But inbox me and I will send you a free gift. Right? Annualcredit.com. Now, here's the deal. Here's the way the government has set this up, because folks have been getting beat up really, really badly with their credit. So the government said they kind of put this thing in place, trying to be consumer friendly. So they put this thing in place where, by law, you can get 1 free report from each one of these guys per year, right? Here's the other thing where you can get it for free. You can get one from each one of these guys for free if you've been turned down, right? If you apply for credit and were rejected or turned down, they will give you a credit report to show why that will allow you to see what they used as a means of rating you to whether or not you were credit worthy for them to extend credit to you. So it's real important. TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, right? Those are the 3 guys. Now, I said earlier, only one commercial entity or lending entity pulls all 3. Now, who knows that answer? Who can give me hashtag that answer? If you know the answer, hashtag it, and again, you'll get a free gift, right? So, credit score 350 to 850. The range normally somewhere around 500 on the low, and on the high, the highest I've seen is 830. But most people are somewhere in that 680 to 720. That's a decent score. You can get B paper, what they call B paper, meaning you're not going to get the highest interest rate, but you're not going to get the lowest or the best either, right? And so that's the deal. Score 350 to 850. Right? The 3 companies are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, right? And I shared with you what a credit score is, who monitors your credit, right? And so these guys really, their monitoring provides a determination for whoever it is you're requesting credit from. They provide them information and they score you in order to for that company to make that determination, right? And so there we have it. What is credit? We know what it is. How do you get it? Right? Who monitors it? And what is a credit score? Right? So one of the things. So let me share another story with you. Right? So my history of spending was based on cash. It was cash and carry kind of thing. And so because this was my mindset, I was beating my head up against the wall when I tried to buy this property. The property was worth $60,000. It was a condominium in pretty decent part of town in D.C. The guy bought it for, the investor bought it for, and I'm going to teach you how to do these things as an investor. The investor bought it from the condo associate, the condominiums association. He bought it for the delinquent fees. Right? There are fees that you have to pay when you own a condo, or in some homeowners, some homeowner communities have homeowners association. So apparently the mother died. The 2 sons, who were in their 40s, did not pay the condo fee every month. The house was paid for. And so this guy bought $60,000 property for $18,000, right? And he was going to sell it to me. He wanted $39,000 for it. I talked him down to $32,000, right? Just knew I was going to get this property, right? I hate to even tell you the horror story about this. But anyway, so I go and apply for a loan. Hey, I'm thinking there's like 30,000, almost $30,000 worth of equity in the thing. You know, if I default, the bank got the property, and you know, who wouldn't take a chance on me? Well, when they saw my score was a 512, guess what? Everybody turned their back on me and said, no deal, Mr. King. So now I'm in this dilemma, like, how do I want to get this property? How do I do it? Well, I did everything under the sun, and I shared with you earlier in one of the previous videos how these companies, you know, I was so desperate that I was willing to hear anybody who said they could help me. Anyone who said they could help me. And I was almost willing to pay, you know, within reason, their fees. And I did. And I got taken advantage of because they couldn't finance me. So what happened was I finally sat myself down. And I said, you know what, Larry, you're beating your head against the brick wall. So how about if you just bite the bullet and pay off your debt? How about if you just pay your debt, man? How about that? How about you stop spending and pay off your debt? Read a book, Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki talks about money and how it works, and great story. You should read the book. I highly recommend it. And so what I did was I went home and I laid out all my bills, right? And it was saddening. It came to a total of $88,000. And I was blown away. Couldn't imagine even having $88,000, let alone owing it to somebody. You talk about overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. All I could do was pray. I just fell on my knees and prayed about it. You know, God, what have I got myself into? Please, Lord, help me get out of this. Show me a way. And he did. I'll share that story with you. How about tomorrow when we get together? And so, you know, went through that process and put together a program, put together a roadmap, and I'm going to show each of you guys exactly how to do that. That's what my program does. And knocked it out. So I wasn't able to buy the house right then. But fast forward 4 years, right? And I'm sorry, 2.5 years, and then about 3 months after that, I bought my first house. And a month later, I bought my second house. And 4 months later, I bought my third house, right? And something really wacky happened. Like, I bought a car in between the second and the third house. I bought a car, and from it sounds crazy. From the equity that was in the value of the car and what I bought it for was about $6,000. And so, and the bank, my credit union was willing to give it to me. And so I called my realtor and I said, can you find me something like within 5 days? And, you know, she did. And because of the car, I bought a house with a tenant that paid $1,100. The mortgage was $560 something. The car note was $340 something. Insurance was like $120. I think I had like $80 left over, all because I purchased a house. I'm sorry, all because I purchased a car. So I purchased a car, which was a liability, right? But the liability had a lot of equity in it. So I took the equity, and rather than buy rims for the nice car, I bought a house. And the house, the tenant paid for the mortgage, the tenant paid for the car, the tenant paid for the insurance, and I had $80 left. Right? Only in America, right? When you understand this stuff, it's like that, right? And so now what I did was, and then I ended up paying the car off 2 years before it was, you know, it was due to be paid off. But that's because my whole mindset was to buy assets and eliminate debt. And so I had virtually no debt. And so people say there's good debt and there's bad debt. Well, basically, there's no such thing as good debt. Really, it's an investment. So technically, people, you know, there's a mortgage or there's a cost to it, but it's and they call it good debt, but it's an investment. An investment is when you pay for something and then it pays you back plus some. That's an investment. So it's not debt. Debt has a negative association or connotation, and I want to, with me anyway, if you're talking about making investments, I don't see it as a good debt. Okay? And the last thing I'm going to hit you with before I get off is, because I've had a few people talk to me about how excited they are about this program or connecting with me on Everyday Wealth Systems. And I'm getting all kinds of, inbox messages, and people are excited and they're ready to go. And what do I sign up and what do I do? And the first thing I'm going to tell you to do right now is I'm going to share with you and ask you to share with me your information, right? By going to through text. I want you to text the word freedom, right? Because that's what we're really trying to do, right? I want you to text the word freedom. So I want you to text, boom, freedom, FREEDOM. And I want you to text it to this number, right? I'm going to put it in big, bold, blue numbers, right? 30. That you can't see that, can you? 30. Oh my goodness. What's going on, Larry? It must be getting late. 301 250 1088. Freedom to that number. Okay? Now, this is going to probably in some cases be controversial to a lot of people out there. But I want to really take this opportunity in this platform, and I got 9 minutes left. I want to take this platform of Everyday Wealth Systems to really break down a myth that I hear over and over and over again, right? I want to break down this myth. If any of you out there has invested money for a trade school, a technical school, your associate's degree, your bachelor's degree, or graduate school, or Juris Doctor, or PhD, or ED, let me share something with you. It is not bad debt. It is not bad debt. You made an investment, and you made an investment in the most valuable person you know, you. Right? Because if we take away your JD, we take away your ED, we take away your PhD, we take away your MS, or your Master's of Social Work, or your BA, we take away your AA, we take away your technical training, your IT skills, your IT security, I don't care, your carpentry, your electrical certificate, we take it away. You now are making minimum wage. You're now making minimum wage, right? So let's not confuse. Yeah, maybe, education prices are through the roof and it shouldn't be that way and whatever. But you were fortunate enough to be able to get a degree through a university or a college or a trade school or a technical school or a nursing or whatever the case may be. When you made that investment in yourself, you now made yourself more valuable. Now, because, and we go back to the other thing, the earning, the savings, the investment, and the expenses and luxuries, because you don't manage your money the way it should be money managed in this property, in this lifeline of money, because it does not make your investment a bad thing and the people who gave it to you bad people. Did I get a little passionate with that? Okay. Try removing the degree as an investment in yourself. Try removing that. What's your earning potential? What's your earning potential? So what I want to do is shift your focus from being concerned about these student loans and the student debt and the cost of education, and be more focused on being grateful and finding a way to maybe mitigate some of those expenses through working in some different areas or what have you, where they will forgive part of it or whatever the case may be. But if you manage your money and you use your degree and your education to advance you in terms of your ability to earn money, makes you more valuable, now let's just get together and eliminate this debt. Let's eliminate it, right? Let's go ahead and pay all that stuff off that's killing your money. right? And then let's start saving and investing, right? Maybe I need to write it again, right? Did everybody get that? 301-250-1088, right? And if I'm sounding a little passionate about this, it's because I am. It's because I am. If you change the way you look at a thing, the thing you look at will change. Change the way you look at your student loan. Don't let it go into forbearance. Don't pay it. Get rid of it. Operate in gratitude. Because let me share something with you. Because of the earning potential because of the investment you made, the earning potential you had, you can blow this stuff away and live the life of your dreams. The American dream is not outside of the grasp of all of us. It isn't. It becomes a nightmare because we don't understand the systems that are in place that make it work. You cannot go out on a football field, right, with a baseball or a basketball and expect to be successful in the field of football. They got stuff called kickoff. They got stuff called punt return. They got stuff called first down, offense and defense. They got field goals. They got, holding. They're all kinds that just don't exist in baseball. Just doesn't exist in, soccer. Yeah, they're all balls. Look, you live in a capitalistic society. Just as much as there are things that are taking your money, there are things that will give you money. You just got to get on the right side of it, right? So much for my passion. Okay, I'm going to let that go. So, folks, we have 2 more minutes before, I promised it'd be 45 minutes, and I'm getting better at this, right? So, hopefully you got something from this. What is credit? It's one company's extending you a value, a dollar value, allowing you to pay it back at a later date. How do they make money giving you credit? They make money by charging an interest rate, right? How do you get it? The way you get it is you apply for it, and if you earn enough money or you got a good credit history and you've got a history of repaying, you can get credit. If you can't, there's some things you can do, such as we talked about with secured credit cards. Who monitors credit? That reports to who you're trying to get credit from. These 3 guys, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, right? Those 3 guys monitor it. What is a credit score? It's a credit score goes from 350 to 850. You want to be somewhere, you want to get that thing up, as high as you can. Why? Because the higher it is, the less you pay for money. The less your interest rate is, okay? The higher the score, the lower the interest rate. The lower the score, now you deal with those guys with your paycheck or your job is your credit, and oh God, and you're paying 25, 29, 30% interest. In the case of payday loans, 3, 4, 500%. Crazy. Impossible to make your money grow under those conditions, right? So we're going to text freedom to 301-250-1088. If this video, this session has been a blessing to you, be a blessing to someone else, like, share, and comment, please. It's your way of showing your gratitude for me extending myself and my knowledge to you without charge. And I'm not ashamed to say that to you. I want to build a relationship with you where when we get to the end of these 15 days and we get ready to take the step to move into preparing you to move into your purpose by eliminating all this burden, I want you to be confident, ready, and on fire to move into your best self. And folks, there's a whole lot of conversation about it. Money is not everything, and money doesn't buy you happiness. Let me share something with you. There's a very big difference in terms of the quality of your life when you have it versus when you don't. Okay? And so I heard Anthony Robbins say, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it sure allows you to arrive in style at your problems. That's his version of it. But again, hopefully this has been of a blessing to you. I appreciate getting your comments and your feedback, so keep them coming. And I'm looking forward to it. So tomorrow, what did I say I was going to talk about tomorrow? I don't remember. So I'll think of it. I'll think back on it before the night ends, and I'll send it out there like I did on my page. Do me a favor, guys. I want you to start moving over to Everyday Wealth Systems, and because I'm going to start broadcasting after the 15th from that page as opposed to my personal page. But in the meantime, I'll post or share everything over to Everyday Wealth. So again, look, it's been a pleasant, I've enjoyed it immensely. Hope I didn't get too intense with that whole college thing. It's been a pleasure. Guys, thanks for joining me. You could have been anywhere, but you took the time to be here with me. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Again, like, share, and comment. God bless you. Have a good night. And we'll talk tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, different topic. I'll let you know in the morning or tonight. Stay tuned. All right? Thanks, guys. Oh, I'm supposed to leave with my tagline, and that is, remember, there is life after death. And with a predictable income, we can move from ordinary to extraordinary in your life. God bless.